Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to start on day 2 here. One thing I didn't mention is the little poem fragments that you see at the bottom are actually hints as to what I'm supposed to do that day. Today I'm supposed to pretend to be somebody else and discern a pattern. The hints are pretty obscure and you don't really understand them until you've played through the game before. But it is kind of fun to decipher them on a replay. So, here we go. Exciting day 2.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh. It always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Oy, men.
Alright, and with that, I'm back in control of Gabriel in day 2. One thing I noticed in the previous playthrough is sometimes the music cuts out for
See
you
you
guys.
later.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try and see if I can find a way to fix it, but I don't hold out a lot of hope. And you're really missing out, because the music in this thing is pretty spectacular. Alright, so 2 things I need to do today is talk to Malia Getty in disguise, and get the meaning behind the pattern I saw in the sand. But there is one other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to learn a little bit more about voodoo from Dr. John.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello?
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
The sound mixing's not great here, but yes, that is Lieutenant Worf running a voodoo shop.
I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs.
That's the wishing stump. If you operate it, he does a lot of cute lines. That's kind of the cute line I wanted to share, so that worked out pretty well.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Cor means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Hold on, I'm going to see if I can drop the music volume a little, because that's bothering me. There we go.
Could I ask you some... What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
What can you tell me about...
Sorry, I got to ask down here.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the
There's a
mixing
lot
together
of really
many
useful
different
information
African
about
tribal
voodoo, in
religions
case you ever wanted to know.
Anglo religions,
And
such
a
as
lot of it is very
Catholicism
factual
or
based.
Protestantism.
There's a lot of research that goes into these games.
In other words, it is
But
a
I'm not going to make you
religion
guys
born
sit
of the
here through an
African slave
education
trade.
marathon about
But
voodoo.
Africans
He's not going to
prior
share anything
but
terribly important to the game,
So,
other than
after
giving
the
you a
Louis
background on
Courant,
what you're dealing
some
with.
what happened when the West...
So I'm going to skip through it.
Tell me more about...
There were a...
There, he mentioned Marie Laveau, the voodoo queen.
Tell me more about...
And she's important.
Tell me more.
There were actually two
This is also
Marie
factual.
Laveaus,
Marie
mother
Laveau's not an
and
invented
daughter.
character. I've been to her
Most people
tomb,
thought they were the
which we'll
same
also visit in the
woman.
game.
Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother.
Anyway.
With
Tell me...
the widow.
You sound...
For she...
What's important about Marie Laveau in this game is that her tomb is used as kind of a communications point. They scratch messages to each other in code on Marie Laveau's tomb, and that's important later on.
Tell me about...
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spell. Voodoo.
And again, this is more current. Now, some of this, I don't know the authenticity of some of this
There are many
newer
voodooians
voodoo
in
stuff.
New Orleans.
Sure.
But you have
She
to
lived
talk to
on
him
the
about
corner
it so
of
you can get
Orleans.
the address
Right.
of Madame Moonbeam.
Voodoo.
I'm just going to go ahead and click through the rest of the voodoo.
Tell me...
Seriously, you guys would be here for hours if I went through all the voodoo talk. When you're playing the game, it is interesting to go through it. But I don't think you guys need to sit through that. Here's an interesting thing that I'm going to need later on. That switch turns on the fan, which agitates the snake. Unlike most Sierra games, it's very hard to die in Gabriel Knight. There's only a couple places.
We have
But
air conditioning.
this is one of the ways
I
to
see.
prevent a death from later on, and I'll show that to you when it happens, obviously. Alright, I'm gonna go talk to
Thanks
Madame
a lot.
Moonbeam, because who
Goodbye.
doesn't like a chick named Madame Moonbeam? Moonbeam Residence, right there in the giant glass ball.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Alright. Obviously, she's got a snake here. If you remember, yesterday, I picked up a snake scale at the scene of the crime. So what I need to try to do is get one of its scales to see if it was the snake that was there, or maybe it was Dr. John's snake, but there's no way to get one of his scales yet. So I'm going to talk to her for a bit, because she has an important thing that I need.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
Mostly she's full of New Age nonsense and hokum. Even the game admits she's pretty nonsense, but she does have something I
What can
need.
you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodoo yen's work is protecting her clients from the spell of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right.
I love the way he pronounces that.
Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an
I
example.
hope you guys
of
wrote
a
that one down, because
gris-gris.
that one sounds good.
Here's an old hoodoo Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue, and if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Ooh. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hurry through some stuff here now. Let's ask her about her snake.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away.
Let's see if she knows Caprice
Do you
and
have
Skull.
any idea what caprice sans cœur means?
No.
I love Tim Curry, but
No,
him
I
speaking
don't.
French does not work.
Do you know anything?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
She ruled voodoo.
Do,
I'm sure a historian.
what do you know?
Why, that has... But I can tell... There is bad...
I'm trying to figure out... It's been a
So
while
you
since I
don't
played
think
the
the
game, and I'm
voodoo
trying to remember how to
aspects
get
of
her
the
to
case
hand me the
are
stuff I
fake?
need.
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodoo yen's
Yeah,
power.
she's trying to defend the fact that she's a fraud. That's
If
fantastic.
people don't believe, there is not much I can do. But there are things, monsieur.
What do you mean?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antenna, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that
You know what? You don't need
direction.
mystical powers to get a clear signal of beware when it's a series of murders about people cutting out other people's hearts.
What about her?
Where?
She's...
Grim.
Yeah.
No.
Are you sure? How about...
Really?
That would be...
I won't make you wait.
Alright. One of two things I need from her.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Oh yeah, sexy baby. Shake that snake. And while she's shaking that snake... Ha-ha! Alright, we're almost done with Madam Moonbeam here.
Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Could I ask...
Sir,
I'm trying to remember if I can get her to reveal it.
Tell me.
but of course
Tell me.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
I can't...
Very well.
I don't think there's anything else.
Tell me.
You have to be careful.
No.
The recipes for voodoo charms.
What?
I have told you all. I work hard.
What?
New Orleans.
What's...
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know. Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They are too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
I see. Alright, I may have to come back and talk to her, because she's not letting me have the one thing I need.
Please remain seated within the...
Thanks for the... Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
May the protection of the snake god go with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with Madam Moonbeam another time. Because she's not giving me the one thing I need her to give me. Anyway, we'll go to the police station now. Have a good chat with our friend Detective Mosley. The game is making sure I take time to notice that guy. I don't think Frick's gonna let me just walk back there.
No one goes back there until I say so, mister.
Sorry. Got a second, officer?
What?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
That's all it takes, folks. Now, this is important. Because there was a security gauge on it, or a security cage on it the previous day. And I know what I'm doing here. I'm going to set the thermostat to 90 degrees.
Hey, hey, hey. Knight, come on in. Whew, it's hot in here.
Yeah, it's probably about 90 degrees.
Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
I get the point, game. He's quite hot. Also, if you look back here, this looked like a mirror from the other side. Detective Mosley has one-way glass in his office just so he can stare at people, I suppose. Now, see on his jacket, you can clearly see his badge. Yeah, we're going to go for that.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
Dun, 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 dun. Take your time walking out of the office. Show me every frame of animation.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
There is nothing in this office worth touching. Oh, well. Except for your badge. Ha ha ha!
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
The most observant detective ever.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
He said with a mouth full of coffee.
Can I ask you about some... Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around them. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
Excellent use of resources. Serial killing going on, but we've got time to get the police photographer to take a snapshot of him and his buddy.
Franks, come here a minute, would you? And bring your camera.
Come on, Franks, honey. Walk that sweet ass in here. Let me take a picture. He just strikes me as the kind that would be ridiculously sexually harassing.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
See?
Sure, sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Nope.
Okay.
You're a...
Hey, don't call me that in front of...
Alright. I just remembered. I did that in the wrong order. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible Let's Player. Alright.
Can I ask you...
I'm sorry, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
I guess I don't need to double-check with sensitive police information. Your word's good enough for us, Mr. Ryder.
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I
See,
understand
and that's the
completely.
problem we have. Because what I need is my own personal copy of these 6 other patterns to add to the one I sketched out at the lake. But she won't let me use the photocopier.
Don't leave the room with that
So what I'm going to do is put it there.
Yeah.
He always checks his hair before walking in.
Can I have here? I got the... Let's... I don't think we got you...
Really?
And you can have her come in as many times as you want to take his picture over and over again. That's one of the things I like about
Franks,
adventure
come
games.
back in here
In
with
most
that camera.
cases, even though it's absolutely ridiculous, they'll give you as many chances as it takes to solve a problem. There are some exceptions, but, yeah.
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Sure, it's not like I have a job
Of course
to do.
not. What else could I possibly have to do?
So she's gonna snap another picture.
Anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec.
Hold
Gotta
on
go
a
check
sec
my
while I
hair.
go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
See-through mirror here.
Let me see that file again.
But that's not gonna prevent me from being able to do this.
Just want to check this machine here.
Which, of course, he doesn't notice. He doesn't notice that the civilian is using the police copy machine to copy confidential police files. I'll return the file, and then just for grins, I'm not even going to go back in there. I'm just going to leave. Mosley and Franks are going to be in there going, what's going on? Alright, over to Jackson Square. Which, if you'll remember from last time, is actually laid out as a circle. Just like the real Jackson Square. Keep an eye on these drummers. You'll see them in the backgrounds of some scenes. They matter later on. Hey, look, an artist!
Can I ask you some...
I'd rather not. I really get focused when I'm drawing.
Okay, fine.
Well, fine, be snooty about it. Look, you're an artist. Can you do something
Say, do you
with
think
this?
there's anything you can do with these patterns?
I'm kind of busy, and I don't normally do requests.
Oh, okay. Say,
I'm a student. I don't...
oh. Nice drawing of the cathedral.
Thanks.
It's really precise.
Well, I'm an architect.
Alright, the artist isn't ready for me yet. But when he is, the tap dancing boy and the hot dog vendor are going to make a difference. So let's go ahead. First I'm going to save the game. Let's go talk to Malia Getty in the Getty Estate. Now remember, the opening was a mask I wore as I approached. I was what I am not. Well, I've got a police badge.
May I help you? I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
That's Tim Curry again, isn't it?
I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
The nature of my business is I'm pretending to be a police officer, gosh darn
My
it.
name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Why did you change your voice?
Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Geddy.
I mean, it's funny that he sounded like Mosley, I guess, but changing your voice is going to be a little
Geddy
suspicious.
will see you. Right this way. Miss Geddy will be down shortly. Thank you.
And here comes the woman that made Gabriel give up his womanizing ways.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Undoubtedly proof that there is a God.
Yes, very subtle.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Geddy?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
As I recall, I don't get to ask her about a whole lot.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting.
Believe it or not, this is important.
I color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Geddy.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Meow. Alright,
Voodoo.
speeding through
There's
some
no-
stuff.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what... But you're not...
No, frankly, I'm...
Oh. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a
See, like I said, you don't get to
detective,
talk to her for very long.
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Geddy.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't
Bull.
like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out.
But...
Robert?
Aww. Wow.
Show Mr. Knight
He's a lot
out,
bigger than he was at the front door.
I most certainly will. Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Such language. We will visit all of these other locations in due course. See if the artist is ready for me yet. Yep, there we go.
Come back here. Hey!
So I did the mask bit, now it's time to buy the pattern.
Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck.
I could talk to him, but basically he's just going to tell me that now he has to start all over again and it's due tomorrow and he's in a lot of trouble. Now the game is pausing to make sure I pay attention to this tap dancing kid. The game does this from time to time to try and make you focus on what's going on in the scene. It just forces you to watch something. And it's really meant to be helpful because there's a lot of stuff on the screen. There we go. And so some of the solutions are kind of hard to figure out.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money, Dan.
I don't have any.
Don't block the view, mister.
So the kid is trying to dance for the hot dog vendor here, who's selling Lucky Dogs, by the way. And if you ever go to New Orleans, get yourself a Lucky Dog. They are fantastic.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books, finest bookstore in New
See,
Orleans.
the hot dog guy is reading a book, and
Really?
that's really all he has
have to
time
check
for.
it
He just
out
sits there reading the book, ignoring the kid. Give him the gift certificate,
You could take this gift certificate
and
with
get a
you
Lucky Dog.
if you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure. Here you go.
Oh, Lucky Dogs are fantastic. I'm really jealous of my character getting to carry one around right now. Just in his pocket with all his other stuff.
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance?
Would I? Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
You mentioned something about special requests?
Yeah. You got one?
And I'm going to have him... First of all, I can have him do When the Saints Come Marching In, which is kind of a theme song for Gabriel Knight.
Can you
But I'm going to have him go get the
the
painting that went through there. Or the
Can
sketching.
I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in
I know
there
some of the stuff
I
I'm doing
can't
seems
quite
nonsensical,
reach.
but that's because
Come
I
on.
know the game, so I'm skipping the steps where you figure out
Can you
what the
reach that
problem
piece
is
of
and it
paper?
hints at a solution.
Sure thing.
To try and compress this game down a little bit.
Here you go. Yep.
It's a great
See
game.
ya.
It's a great playing experience. I highly recommend it. What you're seeing here is a slightly truncated version as I skip some unnecessary steps. Oh, right. Now, I've got this guy's sketch. Wow, that actually is pretty good. Look at that. It's a technical drawing, but it's in color and everything.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Now that you mention it...
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do.
And that's where I have to go get the sketchbook from my grandma's house in order to get that pattern from the lake, which I did in
have
the last
another one of
chapter.
those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
There we go. Though the pattern was unclear, its meaning could be bought with a $20 gift certificate and a Lucky Dog.
Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back, though.
Oh boy, party time.
Gonna save the game again. Because playing old Sierra games, save early, save often.
Got a minute?
What's up?
Let's see if I can end the chapter.
Do you have
I
message?
don't think I
Nope.
can yet.
Do you know in...
I'm...
Could you do...
Sure.
Yep,
Okay.
nothing for her to research. I guess we're not done with Madam Moonbeam, guys. Because what I need to get from Madam Moonbeam is the Voodoo
Gabriel
Code
Knight?
Dictionary.
Come in.
Hello, Magentia.
Magentia Moonbeam.
Please, be seated.
Oh, that's one other thing I need to do here. Oh, this is not the snake from Lake Pontchartrain.
Could I ask you?
Of course.
Oh, right. I'm just gonna go through everything.
I work.
What can?
It is a.
What?
Oh, I wouldn't want to.
What?
Special.
What?
There is no.
What?
There is no night more powerful.
Do you have any
And it's
idea?
coming up.
No. No, I don't.
Do you?
She's lying.
Do you?
Nobody will tell
I'm
me
sure
what
a
it means, but they all know.
Tell me.
I don't know what else.
Have you ever?
I don't know.
Give me.
All right.
Give.
Here's
Give me.
to send someone away. Here's a nasty one.
Does. Give me any.
To ensure that.
Give me.
All right. What?
No.
Alright, she's not gonna share.
Well, I.
The only vice is the absence of love.
I've heard that. By now.
Alright, I remember what I gotta do now. We actually are gonna go check out the cemetery real quick, because I need her to give me the voodoo alphabet. This sketchbook is so handy.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
And because you can see it in the scenery, take it. It's a half a brick to paint that with. That's Willie the groundskeeper. I believe I can talk to him.
Excuse me, sir. You
I don't think he ever actually matters, though. Also, since we're in the cemetery anyway, this is the Knight family
These
tomb.
are Grand's folks.
Even though it's the Wright family tomb.
Daddy.
And if you wanted to, you can talk
My
to
mother.
them.
Miss you, Mom. Hey, Daddy. Hey.
And he'll talk to all of them. Anyway. Now we're gonna go talk to Magentia Moonbeam and we'll sort this out. And there's one other thing we gotta do, and the day's over.
I had a feeling you'd be back. Please, be seated.
Because if I give these to Dr. John, he's gonna claim to have no idea what they are. But for some reason, the fraud knows what they are.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
Let's see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and a J, and then... Okay, this part makes sense. It says, conclave tonight, bring... then there's more nonsense. FWETKASH. Well, that last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash?
And this is how you know she's a
It doesn't
fraud,
make much
because we're going to learn
sense.
later that a fwet
That's okay,
cash
thanks.
is a very important and voodoo relic.
DJ Conclave.
DJ. Have I met any characters named DJ?
It's a star.
I'm happy I could help.
Dr. John. And now I have... She translated it and wrote the translation on it, so I can use that later. I now know what those letters mean.
Well, I guess I'll be going.
It's the absence of love. I've heard that.
The only vice is the absence of...
I've heard that. Bye now.
One last quick thing, back to the Dixieland drugstore.
Hello.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Casino. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a sleep note bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Oh, don't that beat all? Well, you're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too, and you gonna whip any old no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them
Just
on my
curios,
account and
man.
send them round to my
Curios.
house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want 'em.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
It's a very strange
madame.
mix of conservative
Don't
Christian
hurt to be
values and
proactive none
voodoo
either.
power.
Now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
But clearly this old
Au revoir,
lady
Monsieur Walker.
knows a little bit about voodoo in this town. So I should probably try and find out a little bit more about her, right? Whatever, man.
Can I ask you... That customer of yours, the little old lady?
Customer?
The woman I saw in here. Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve. You see, I'm doing some research and...
I can't tell you anything about her.
It's important...
I can't tell...
That should be it for the day.
Hello,
here?
beautiful.
Oh, he was talking
It's
to her.
me.
Oh, joy.
See, I think I'm funny. Alright. Talking to her to request research should end the day if I did everything.
Got a minute?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I need you to look up a Madame Cazeneuve.
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Getty, was?
Grace, Cazeneuve's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
I can't think of any.
Okay.
Bam! End of the day!
It's time to close
Ladies
shop.
and gentlemen, thank you for joining
So
me
it
for
is.
day 2
Have a nice
of Gabriel
night.
Knight, Sins of the Fathers. I'll see you guys
You
next
too.
time for day
See
3.
you
We'll
tomorrow.
go ahead and let the day end. I'm trying to remember if it's another nightmare sequence or if we get another little special treat. We're back to the nightmare sequence. This was one of the things where the music wasn't included when I watched the playthrough. Hopefully it's on this time. The music is really well made for the series. It's very atmospheric. I really like it. Sometimes the mixing is a bit off and the music's too loud or too soft, but I don't have a fault with the music itself. Now you can see the nightmare's changed a little bit. Now there's this new scene. 3 snakes. And a curved ritual dagger that we'll encounter later. And Gabriel in the tree again. That's it.